Thursday night, and the beards are back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to your favorite Thursday night show. I'm not talking about Thursday night football, I'm talking about us. I am your main man, Mayhem, and with me are the Smooths, big and little. Smooths, how are we doing?
Hello. How we doing?
And my main man, Monty. How are we doing, Monty?
How we doing, guys? I'm doing good.
Guys, this is we didn't do a show after the last Giants win because they were playing on that same Thursday night where I got really loaded and went live during the game, which we've then deleted and that will never be seen again.
Really?
So
I didn't know
this is our first victory pod of the season.
Yay.
Guys, how are we feeling after a big win at home against the Commanders?
I feel good. I feel really good that that our quarterback looked, pretty good in a win. And I'm not saying that to start bullshit. I really enjoy watching Tyrod play. I always have.
Mm-hmm.
God, even my wife was like, "Oh, you guys have Tyrod Taylor?" She's like, "That's cool." He's like, he's always been a pretty decent quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, it's just people respect him in an odd way because he took the Bills to the playoffs. Has always been a solid player. Shit, he was even pretty good at Virginia Tech for a college quarterback. You know what I mean? So undersized, shifty. He doesn't have a huge arm, but he gets the ball out there on time. So if it looked good, man. I love Jalen Hyatt's kind of breakout game, if you will, and he didn't score a touchdown. He almost did. Thank you, Sarge, for letting him go in fantasy because I'm going to pick that up. And I started him on a whim. And I may do it again because until further notice, Tyrod Taylor is my fantasy quarterback. Maybe not this week. But I'm just riding the wave of that. Listen, still got major problems, but the defense looks good. Quarterback, I feel like, has settled in. I don't think we're going to see Daniel for a long time, to be honest with you. It has nothing to do with hatred of Daniel Jones. I just don't think they want him to play because of his neck. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Monty?
Yeah, man. I was happy about the win. I mean, it was just good to see good football for the first time in a while. It feels like it helped to see all these other teams that were right around our same amount of wins also get a win and just kind of kept us the exact same place in the draft order. That kind of made it extra sweet. I got to see I forgot to say, I got to see my win, and I got the draft order too. So that was good. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it, but I was happy. I was really happy with how everything played out.
Sarge?
So, the game is what it was. We went out there, we scored 2 first half touchdowns, and then nothing else after that. I was at work, so I had to watch the game on Red Zone, and not seeing anything really go on the whole second half of the game was a little worrisome. Our special teams is still a giant steaming pile of shit.
Yep.
Bram Gano misses a field goal, which affects me negatively personally because he is my kicker in fantasy. And then, everybody we can't find somebody to return punts. Eric Gray goes out and muffs a punt, and now he's on IR because of some kind of injury.
Calf issue?
Is it a calf or something which affects his ability to stand underneath a ball and catch it coming out of the air? Now, that's not to say that I could do any better. Let's face it. I'd probably catch everything and just let it go right over my head. I wouldn't even.
Quick
even
segue. Very quick segue. I had in talks to do, this is like 5 years ago, to do a local regional show in North Carolina, sports, where we would do kind of like, remember how John Boy did the media kind of Olympics where they did like the people doing 50-yard dash and stuff like that?
Oh, when they did the combine. Their combine.
Thank you. So my idea for this show was essentially guys like us who are not professional athletes, who talk a lot of shit, literally have to do all of the things that they talk shit about. So and one of them was field a punt while the special teams is running down to get you. Even if you can fair catch it, but if you drop it, you get punched. You get actually crushed. Full pads. we had colleges that were willing to do it. Just never got off the ground. Some liability issues, obviously.
Yeah,
that's a lot of liability issues.
But in every sport you can think of, I had an event for everything. Literally, one of them was you have to hit a golf ball with all these people around you, like the PGA Tour, and everybody that's out there has hockey equipment on, so they can't get hurt, like all the fans. So if they get hit with a golf ball, it didn't matter. Yeah. So like all this stuff, but that just reminded me of it. So sorry to segue.
That sounds a lot like pros versus Joes, but
yeah, but we wanted to do it with North Carolina centric teams, like
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, continue.
But so I mean, but then you get like Sterling Shepard muffs a punt, causes a turnover, which gives them the ability to score points. And then Saquon puts it on the ground and luckily keeps them the defense keeps them from scoring any points. The defenses look great. The defense has looked really, really good the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, for a little bit now.
And even though the offense is operating better, we still have to be better on offense.
What's going on, Hefe?
Shout out to Hefe. And I was actually just going to mention, speaking of Smooth's idea about the whole, essentially athletes versus shit talkers. Spiro had, Mr. Glass Half Full had a post last week about, was it racing Jalen Hyatt? And I said, if it was 100-yard dash and Spiro got a 50-yard head start, Hyatt would still win by at least 30 yards, and Spiro would tear all of his ACLs. I love you, buddy, but you are not like I saw your combine. It wasn't great.
You're not an athlete. You're a wonderful person. We love you.
You're a fabulous human being, not a speedy guy.
I love how he's taking strays, but also if we did have a producer, if we went to John in the booth, whatever the hell his name is, we would have it queued up of Spiro running his 40-yard dash at the combine. And not to say that, I mean, did you ever see Kevin Hart run against Stephen Ridley? 40-yard dash. He tore all his abductors. He had to be in a wheelchair for a month. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Like, he literally tore his shit up to like his abs and like the sides of his body so much that he had to be in a wheelchair. So I don't recommend anybody over 40 deciding to chase down a professional athlete. You can end up like Spiro or Kevin Hart.
Yeah. No, I already have enough metal in my knees. I don't need any more. So we get the win, and you would think that Giants Twitter, the Big Blue family, whatever the hell you want to call us, would lay off for a week, and just because hey, we beat the Commanders. That's great. They were a 500 team. We don't know how, but they are. And then all hell breaks loose. I literally took a day off of Twitter, and I because I have a job that I can't sit there and look at my phone all the time. And then I saw one post, and it was the shit show that occurred on WFAN and Carl Banks. And I immediately said to myself, oh, well, this is going to occupy everybody for the next 2 or 3 days. We're not even going to talk about the Jets yet. We're going to talk about this. And we've all seen the clip. There's no reason to play it anymore. But there is something I have that I want to play for you guys. And it's kind of on the other side of the field. It's more about the Jets than it is the Giants. But it all kind of fits into the same, New York sports radio deserves a lot better. So check this out. And Monty, I don't think you haven't seen this in our group, but you may have seen this on Twitter. But
you got a new issue with Zach. What's the problem?
Zach Wilson, in what is about to be the biggest stretch of his career, decided it was a good time to take his girlfriend to Utah to apple and pumpkin pick and go to a haunted
house. He wanted
to
meet the family, man.
He's a professional athlete. The family could fly to New York and New Jersey. I'm sorry. The Jets stink after buys. Zach Wilson's season last year derailed after a bye.
Yeah.
I believe 52 guys could have gone and visited families. The quarterback, the leader, needs to be at that or around that facility all week last week. And Zach Wilson has not done enough to get his ass on a plane with his girlfriend to go to Utah for a week.
My quarterback is going to kick your ass on Sunday.
Boy, I don't know. The last time I remember a quarterback about to face the Giants with a visit out of their area to Pound Town,
Don't compare the Tony Romo,
Tony Romo with Jessica Simpson a combo. How did that work out? The focus needs to be in the film room, Evan, the weight room, the study room.
Utah is very different than Cabo.
Yeah,
that was irrational. You got me to support Zach Wilson.
Okay.
You pulled it off.
Good job.
You Jet fans will do anything to defend your player.
I mean, and it's just like this guy who gets paid to professionally sit on his ass and talk into a microphone is gonna shit on the guy for going home on his week off. I mean, give me a break. I know you guys have to fill up airspace, but this is ridiculous. Between this and the Carl Banks shit, I don't know. I don't understand why anybody listens to the fan. I don't.
It's a real shame for them that all these are like video recorded now because Sean Morass has a face for radio, and now it just
really does.
It just has to get blasted all over the internet. It's the most punchable face I would have ever seen. Nick Sirianni, but he's up there.
Yeah, but Nick Sirianni looks like douchebag punchable.
Yeah,
just looks like punchable. Also,
he looks
can
like
we talk about
a
like
locker.
he also does? I said
Sean
that
Morash.
That's Monty.
Yeah, Sean Morash looks like he spent more time in a toilet bowl than he did in the weight room. That he needs Zach Wilson to stay in.
Also, can we talk about how stupid he is? Because he's talking about how Zach Wilson went just taking his girlfriend to Pound Town. Isn't this dude like a Mormon and shit? Are we really going to talk about like his sexual activity on the radio?
Mormons do some weird thing. It's called soaking, and don't look it up.
I know exactly what soaking is, you silly bastard. Look it up. It's hysterical. You should look it up.
All I know is that he took his mom's friends to Pound Town, so I don't really know how Mormon he is.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how true that is, man. Those are allegedly. You don't want to get sued. Allegedly, he's a MILF hunter. I don't know what to tell you. No, but like, I just think like the radio. Listen, we do a silly podcast. There are plenty of podcasts who do silly content. This is the flagship station of the New York Giants, of New York sports radio. When I lived in the city and I had to drive around, I used to love to listen to WFAN. You couldn't pay me to listen to WFAN right now. I used to listen to, and I still try to the Giants radio feed during the games. Now I'm going to listen to it even more because Carl Banks 100% got disrespected on a stupid show with these two morons who couldn't rub two sticks together to kind of create a fire. They are so dumb. They have no football knowledge. They are literally trying to talk to an NFL legend and Giants Ring of Honor 2-time Super Bowl champion about a position that he basically played in the NFL at a high level. What are they doing? I just don't get it. Yeah.
And then to bring Micah Parsons into it, it's like, well, he's not Michael Parsons. It's like, well, they're not asking him to do what Micah Parsons does. They're asking him to do other things.
I mean,
and if you look at the numbers, like everybody's been posting it too after this all came out. If you look at the numbers, their tackles for loss are about the same. Their pressure rates are the same. There's a slightly different number, like in sacks, but in QB hits, it's like they're right there along with each other. So it's this whole thing is just kind of ridiculous. It's like, I understand that you guys have to generate content. You guys have to sit in those chairs several hours a day, 5 days a week, and generate content. But you know what? There are better ways to do that. If you're going to have Giants legend Carl Banks come on your show and talk about how guys are playing, what are you going to do? You're going to ask him a question, and you're going to let the guy talk. You're not going to shout over him and then hang up on him like a jackass.
Well, I mean, especially when they're saying, educate me on what I'm missing. And then he's trying to, and they're still giving him shit.
Yeah.
That'd be like if I went on Monty's draft show and I was just like, I don't know anything about these prospects. And he started railing off prospects. And I was like, he sucks. He fucking sucks. And you'd be like, dude, I'm literally telling you what his grades are and you're telling me that I'm wrong. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
The whole thing drove me nuts. And like to the Parsons point, aside from like asking him, it's like taking Jordan Addison right now and be like, well, he's not Justin Jefferson. Like, is he Justin Jefferson? It's like no, he's a fucking good wide receiver who's doing a lot of good things right now. Like, it doesn't have to be Justin Jefferson to be a good wide receiver. So it's just like comparing him to legitimately like a future Hall of Famer at this point is trajectory wise just ridiculous. And then, yeah, it's like what drove me nuts, honestly, is like if you're gonna like have this opinion about Thibodeau, like at least just have some conviction with it and just,
Right.
like, this is how I feel. And it's like, nope, this, and you stick to it instead of just being, or listen, one of the two, but the halfway where it's like, well, I can't be wrong because I don't watch the all 22. So why don't you take me to Giants facility and show me the all 22 and tell me why I'm wrong? It's like, how about you just listen to what he says? Or how about you go and watch some all 22 or watch one of the like hundreds of content creators that can help you with this, who break down the all 22 instead of just being a professional sports a radio host who says, I'm not educated enough to comment on this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
You know what it reminds me of? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm good. Go ahead. I want to hear you.
No, my thing was this is like, I like how the rest of the day, because I went back through and I read all of this other stuff. The rest of the day, not once did Carl lower himself to talk shit about these two guys. What he did do is he spent the rest of the day talking up the Giants content creators who actually break down film and look at things. Like, for the longest time on his page, Justin Pennick had the tweet from Carl Banks as his banner photo of,
He still does.
I think he might still do that. But you know what? When Justin and Bobby are breaking down film and Carl agrees with something, he's going to retweet them and really kind of push them up when he goes content with context.
Yep.
Stuff like that. That just shows you the kind of professional that Carl Banks is. Like, he could have dragged those two idiots through the mud all over social media, and we would have ate that up. We would have been like, yeah, Carl, get those guys. But you know what? He didn't. He spent the rest of the evening just bringing everybody else up. And that shows what kind of a classy guy he is.
Yep. Hey, shout out Pest.
Shout out to Pest.
Hope everything's going well, buddy.
Hope you're feeling better, dude.
Yeah, man.
To your point about Carl Banks, I want to say real quick is like, yeah, there is like a time where he was a little bit more combative on Twitter, like you can see with Justin and his cover photo. But for a while now, he's really just been the ultimate professional on here and just boosts everybody up. And if you have, he might question a take and be like, explain that to me, and like really just like ready to call you out on it if you can't. But like, he gives you a chance. He wants to hear that you're coming from a place of explaining it. And that's, as long as you said, they went and had that whole thing against Kayvon Thibodeau, and Carl Banks is the biggest Kayvon Thibodeau defender like in the world, and they somewhat blasted him, and he's like, hey, content with context, and he's like, I respect it. Bring context, and I can respect your opinion.
If Pest is still on, I gotta do this. I gotta present something in the feed. It's very funny, and let's see if we can get this real quick. I labeled all these, so it should be easy to find. All right, this is for Pest.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. Shut the fuck up. Hey.
Nice.
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You need to leave? No, bitch.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he's out.
Yeah, he's out.
That's my favorite line. Guess what? It was labeled. Yeah, he's out. One more time.
He's out.
If you just joined us, I won't play it super loud like I did last time. This is.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey. Nice.
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You need to leave? No, bitch.
Okay.
Oh God. I mean, Would you be proud? Would you be? I don't know. I'd probably be embarrassed, and also like maybe I should watch my language. I saw that the other day, and I was like, I'm doing one of the podcasts. It's going on one of them. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, we got
Yeah.
Mr. Half Glass Full here.
Did he hear? Did he hear he was getting strays?
He probably heard I was talking shit, and he just had to show up.
Speed, Sarge was talking shit about how you're not an athlete. I just agreed with him. I didn't really bring it up. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
I totally agreed.
You
no,
agreed
listen,
with me.
No, I totally did. I'm telling on myself. Let me do it. Are we gonna do picks before 9:15? Because I probably have to jump off in 10 minutes before this baby loses his patience. I could feel him being like, this is kind of cool, but I don't know how much longer I want to do this for.
Yeah.
He's gonna fill his diaper in the next 10 minutes. So
well, he's also someone called over here, so he can actually see his face, which he loves. He's very vain. So he's like smiling over here at the FaceTime of the camera over here.
Nice.
So he's very excited.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all picked Buffalo tonight. Am I right? Monty's the only one who came out and said it, but half of Buffalo is my fantasy team, so I'm all for Buffalo today.
I mean, they're only up 3-0, so I wouldn't if somebody wants to go Buccaneers, go for it. But
not with Baker Mayfield at quarterback. I can't do it.
No
prime time game.
All right, you want me to pull up the schedule?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Do. All right. That's right, vibes. Eli.
We got the whole crew in here. We got the whole
We have
New York Revival crew coming through.
Yeah.
What's up, Eli?
All right, Smooth, you go first.
Okay, I'm going to go Dallas. I'm going to go Minnesota. I'm going to go Atlanta with Will Levis starting his first game. I'm going to go New Orleans. Actually, no. I'm going to go Indy. I like Minshew Mania. Then give me Miami. I'm going reverse jinx. I've picked against the Giants every time they've won this year, so I'm going Jets. I'm going to throw up. Then I'll go Jacksonville, Philly, Houston, Cleveland, Kansas City, Baltimore, Cincy, because I feel like Brock Purdy's not going to start. I think he got a concussion. And then I'm going to go Chargers and Lions.
All right.
I think this is real interesting how there are no bye weeks this week, but there were like weird, like 6 last week. You got to break that up, weeks? NFL. No one's on a bye this week.
No one's on a bye.
That's weird.
No one's on a bye. All right, Monty, go ahead.
On like an ideal middle of the season where bye week would be good. Anyway,
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, it doesn't make it. Yeah, people have like week 14 buys.
Yeah.
I did that for us.
All right.
I'm hoping the reverse jinx
actually
stays.
You picked the Giants last week, but
no, I did not.
No, he didn't.
I did not.
We picked him.
Right.
He didn't.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Dallas, Green Bay, Atlanta, New Orleans. I'm gonna go a New England upset. They're gonna run the division. That's the only games they're gonna win. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take Jets. I don't know if we can score on that defense. I'm gonna go Jacksonville. I'm gonna go Philly. I'm gonna go Carolina's gonna get their first win. I'm gonna go Seattle, Kansas City, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Chargers, Lions.
All right.
My kid likes it. He's perked up. He was
Ugh.
like, "Money, good fucking picks, dude.
I got to put a
Good
parlay
picks,
on this
Monty.
now.
Parlay." Yep.
All right. All right. So we're going Rams. Minnesota, Green Bay. Really could care less. Green Bay. You said Will Levis is starting for Tennessee.
Yep.
Oh, we're going Titans.
I was-
Indy. Let's see. Dolphins in a get right game. I'm going to skip the Giants. I'll do that last.
Ooh, professional.
Pittsburgh.
You see it? No, say something.
Philly's. I mean, look what we did to Commanders last week. Philly's going to get 40 points and 10 sacks.
I have Philly's defense. Let's go.
Yeah. Houston and Carolina battle of the first round picks. We're going C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Cleveland. The Browns defense is no joke.
no Watson though.
I don't care, man. PJ Walker does enough to win. I mean, Myles Garrett is practically
Watson
winning these
stinks.
games for them.
Whatever happened
Kansas
to Dorian
City.
Thompson, DTR?
Oh, he played so bad that
was bad.
one game he was in. They haven't played him since.
I didn't pay attention to that game.
Um,
That's why I was curious. 'Cause I know that was Monty's guy.
Let's see.
Mhm. He had a good preseason.
Baltimore. All right. We're going to 49ers. Sam Darnold.
Ooh, Sam Darnold, huh? Let's go.
Yeah, we're going to go Chargers and then Lions. I don't think Vegas wins another game this year because Garoppolo's out and Brian Hoyer is starting, as far as I know. Is Garoppolo still out? Do we know that?
He's still out for right now.
I think he
Doesn't
is, yeah.
matter. They suck anyway. I almost tried to go to the Giants Raiders game,
Me too.
but
I looked at tickets.
I need the money for a new car. All right, Monty, we can drop the schedule.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna look ahead to Little Brother. We're gonna talk about the Jets a little bit. I don't think Taylor Swift is going to be at this game, so I think we'll be all right. She'll be in Denver, or
If someone
Yeah,
can
she'll
do
be
it,
in
because I'm
Denver.
holding my child, you should put up what it's in the overlay, the Pat Mahomes picture. Tell me
right,
you
hold
don't
on.
see that. Since you brought up Taylor Swift and the Chiefs.
It's in the
Kinda.
overlay. Oh, there we go.
Doesn't he look just like
I mean, yeah, we always get the Darlene from Roseanne. He looks like Darlene. He sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Bro. He could sound like however he wants. I just can't unsee that.
I mean,
Right?
if Ben McAdoo had his way, he'd be a New York Giant. But
It's true.
Stop.
He went
bring
and
it up.
saw him by himself. Nobody wanted
Like
to go with him.
set up in the last row with his little notepad,
Yeah.
his
He
mustache.
literally went to the Texas Tech Pro Day by himself. Nobody would go with him.
That's
And his
hysterical. That's a great
oversized-
story.
in
I was
his
just saying,
oversized sport coat.
Did he wear an oversized jumpsuit to the pro day? Looking like Paulie Walnuts.
Did you give
All
us
right,
your
so-
jet
What
pick?
do you got, what's that?
Oh, I didn't write it down, but we all know who I'm picking.
Say it.
Monty,
I'm picking the refs. No, I'm kidding. I'm picking the Giants.
Monty, what do you expect from this game?
I expect the Jets defense to outscore our offense.
Really?
Really? You think this is going to be another Cowboys game?
I don't think it's going to be a Cowboys game. I just don't think that, and I've liked what our offense has been doing and stuff like that, but the Jets defense is good, and I don't think we're going to have Andrew Thomas back.
We're not.
Yeah.
Probably
No.
not.
I would
We
love
might
to
get
see
John
that.
Michael Schmitz back though.
I'd love to see Jalen Hyatt burn sauce like he did in the preseason. That'd be great. But
I want that like the very first play.
yeah.
I feel like they're going to be ready for that, don't you? Since they already tried that in the preseason, though, they gotta do that like the second series or something like that. On like,
No.
or the way the Giants defense is playing, if the Giants defense can play like they played against Washington, which is very possible because the Jets offensive line is trash. Okay,
Yeah.
Mhm.
they definitely can affect this game the same way they did, and if they can, because what did they give up one touchdown, but it was on like a 20-yard drive.
Yeah,
I mean,
something like that.
it's
Yeah,
possible.
it was. They gave up a
really
short field touchdown because of the Sterling Shepard
punt.
muff punt.
Yeah.
Yes, if
Yeah.
Monty, would you agree that if the Giants play even 80% of what they played against the Commanders, that this could be a Graham Gano 3 or 4 field goal game where they stay in it and have an actual chance to win the game?
I mean, I think they're gonna have a shot in this game regardless, but I don't trust us not making a mistake, especially with we did everything we could to lose that Washington game. And it wasn't on the defense and it wasn't on Tyrod, but everything else around it, we did everything we could lose. Our special teams was dropping fucking punts. Saquon Barkley was fumbling in the red zone.
I can't believe that, right?
We did
Yeah, I
everything we
know.
could to lose that game. Like, as much as I like the win, I'm just like, and our defense played great. I'm just not like on board yet. We're gonna start running through the schedule. Like
I'm with you there.
we threw away every game this year, and we tried to throw away the Washington game.
We threw away six free points because Gano missed a chip shot the second drive of the game, 42-yarder. He makes that in his sleep, and then at minimum you missed 3 extra points when the Saquon fumble.
And don't forget we missed 7 points with Kayvon Thibodeau dropping an easy pick
Oh,
six
that's
in
right.
his hands.
Yeah, it could have easily have been 27-7 game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's. I don't put too much on that. I know a lot of people are blowing that up. It's like that's a play you got to make. And like if he had better hands, he'd play receiver.
Yeah, I don't take too much stock in that either, but I also feel like you got to make that play because you're a professional athlete. The other thing I would say is this Giants team doesn't do the things that even like a level above them. I hate to say it, but like take the Cowboys game, right? They compounded their turnovers into points, and then they kept stacking and putting us further and further away. The Giants had probably their most complete game of the season minus special teams. But still, like, think about what they did for the totality of the game. Monty, you said this the other day, like the offense's struggles are a little overblown in the second half because they did move the ball. But my point is they don't capitalize on opportunities the way the next level teams do. Even like, because I don't think the Cowboys are a championship level team, but they're just below that. They're like a tier above us. And then there's the Eagles and the Chiefs and the 49ers and people like that. They take opportunities and then they turn them into points. Then they turn you over and then turn those into points too. So that's what we don't do.
The Giants 100% took their foot off the gas in the second half. They were running the ball at seemingly like on every first down. They had the ball at, I mean, granted, I was here for the decision, but it just goes into taking your foot off the gas. They had the ball at 4th and 1 at their own 45, and they punted it away, which, I mean, with the way the defense was playing, I didn't have a problem with it, but it just goes into they were really just not aggressive with the second half. And yeah, I did say it's like I think it's a little bit overblown where the Giants offensive struggle in the second half because they did have 2 3-and-outs, which is bad. Like that was bad, but they had 3 3-and-outs in the first half, and we did well. The issue is we only had 4 total drives in the second half.
Right,
and
right.
One we punted on 4th and 1 on for our own 45. The other one, Saquon Barkley fumbled on the 8-yard line. So like our offense was moving outside those 2 drives, but is what it is.
All right, boys. I hate to depart, but I'm glad we at least I got to talk a little bit about the next game. I'm gonna try to get this guy to bed. He's looking at me like,
all right, smooth.
Bullshit. Bye, guys.
We'll catch up with you next week.
If I come back with patches in my beard, it's because this dude rips them out.
All right, Smooth. We'll see you later.
All right, Smooth. All right, Monty. So we are
Ooh,
okay.
Oh.
It was we went real big, and I'm like, no, I don't like that. So, I mean, we kind of started touching on, what do you think we have to do to win this game, man? I mean, because we got to go out there and we have to at least make a show of it. We got to smack little brother in the mouth. I think back to the Giants Jets games of the past, and more importantly, you think about Brandon Jacobs and Rex Ryan, that kind of stuff. With that whole week where they were covering up the Super Bowl trophies and all this other stuff. But we don't have that. Like, this is not a rivalry game, really, but it is. I mean, like, we share the same stadium, and the stupid questions that Joe Shane and Brian Dable had to field in the offseason about sharing the city with them because of the Aaron Rodgers thing. He's like, well, they were here last year.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, what is, like, as Smooth as likes to call it, like, what are our keys to victory for this?
I think it's honestly really simple. I think what it comes down to is we need to play mistake-free football, and we need to force Zach Wilson to make mistakes. That's
Which
really
is relatively easy.
Yeah, well, yeah, but so is us making mistakes, as you saw last week. So we gotta avoid that. Tyrod has been avoiding that. That was one of the issues with Jones is he had 6 interceptions, and granted, not all of those are fault. I think only 3 of those were fault, but that's still a mistake on the team. And those haven't been popping up, but they've been popping. They're up in other ways. You gotta take advantage of that interception. You have to catch your punts, which is some reason something we
really
can't
important.
Do. Yeah,
Didn't we got a punt returner this week?
Yeah, we got Gunner, whatever his name is from the.
That's a very large Polish last name.
Yeah,
it was Olszewski or something like that. I don't know. And then we did also bring back Joshua Corbin, and we got another running back because of Eric Gray going on IR.
Yep.
He was a high school teammate of Andrew Thomas and a Duke teammate of
Deion Jackson, right?
Daniel Jones.
Deion
What's
Jackson,
that?
right? Deion Jackson.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. He was on the Colts active roster earlier this year. Yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see. Like, I'm just not getting ahead of myself on this one. I'm still kind of just waiting where, like, I need the Giants to still prove something to me. I think I've always liked the defense. The defense had the best game it had this year. So, like, although I was really impressed with them, I've been screaming from the rooftops that the defense is good. So, like, I'm like, not much has changed for me.
Right.
And I still think the offensive line is bad. I played better. I don't think that's something that's going to carry over. I think Mark Lewinsky and Brent Bryson had a good game, and I think our tackle play is still horrendous.
Shit.
Like, Mark Mesquithan's still horrendous.
There was a tipped Josh Allen ball for an interception.
Gotcha.
It was interception by a line.
Speaking of another shit, the second I finished my schedule predictions and I did that, you know what? The Patriots are going to beat the Dolphins. I pick up my phone. It says, Dolphins cornerback says there's a chance he could make his debut Sunday versus the Patriots. Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, I mean, so what was I going to say? I was going to say something and then I got distracted by Josh Allen doing Josh Allen shit. You know what? That's the thing. We're talking about quarterbacks. That's what I wanted to talk about. Bonnie.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
Yep.
He says he feels better, but he's not. The Giants aren't clearing him for contact. What are we looking at here, man? And I've been pretty vocal about this because you and I talked a little bit about this last week. How this neck thing, they're not going to play games with him. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to put him out there. And I said this once already too. They're not going to put him out there until Andrew Thomas is ready, is what I'm thinking. Because he is like one. He is like, here we go. He's one Quinnen Williams sack or one Max Crosby sack away from Andrew Luck territory. We're talking about retiring Chris Godwin got a touchdown. That sucks for my defense, but it's good for Chris Godwin, who I also have in fantasy. So this is what you get here, folks. You get intermixed with live fantasy updates for my fantasy team during the show because we're watching Thursday Night Football.
Everyone cares about your fantasy team, Sarge.
You know what? You're just upset that I beat you.
Bro,
actually, no, you beat me.
My team
you beat me.
My team does not deserve to be 2-5. Did you see that tweet I put out the other day? I was like, Giants 2-5. I'm like, bro, their analytics say we have a 2% chance of making playoffs. My fantasy team 2-5. I'm running the table, baby. That's team of the league.
That's team of the league. So, I mean, what's your opinion on this whole Daniel Jones neck thing?
Really, the way I've been looking at it and the way I just continue to look at it is Daniel Jones is out indefinitely for potentially for the rest of the year until I hear otherwise. Like, I'm done with this. Oh, maybe he's going to play this week. I'm like, no, he's not going to play until he's cleared. Until I hear he's cleared to play, I'm not expecting him to play anytime soon.
Yep. What would your opinion be to be like holding him out until after the bye week?
I think if he's physically cleared to play, he should be playing. If he's unless you're deciding to start Tyrod from here on out, but if your plan is to start Daniel Jones again, if he's physically cleared to play, he should play. If there's worry that he could get re-injured, then he shouldn't be physically cleared and he shouldn't play. And that's really where it comes down to for me. It's just don't clear him unless he's ready.
So hold on. I had the schedule up here and then I closed it. So I have a question that I want to posit to you about this. But let me pull the schedule back up real quick. Okay. So we all know that we play the Jets this week, and then we play the Raiders the week after that, and then it's Dallas, Washington, and then the bye. Okay, let's say Daniel is clear to play not this Sunday, but next Sunday. They feel confident in he's gotten all the check marks from Ronnie Barnes and the entire Giants medical staff. He has been cleared for contact. He goes out and he practices the full week, and he starts against the Raiders on the 5th of November. Okay. They lose. Okay. Yep. So he starts and they lose. Let's say, all right, let me back up a step. Jets Giants this weekend. Tyrod starts. We all know this is going to happen because it's going to happen. He'll be ruled out probably tomorrow. Tyrod goes out. Tyrod wins. Beats the Jets at home. So now Tyrod is 2-1. Okay. Well, no, he would technically be 2-1 because he lost he started the Bills game and we lost. All right, so Daniel is then cleared Monday morning. Daniel is cleared for contact. Let's get all the check marks he needs. Goes out, full week of practice. They play the Raiders and lose.
With Daniel Jones.
Yes, he starts and they lose. And it was like another one of these. The defense keeps us in it. 17-10. Okay. This is hypothetical, Sky. We're talking hypotheticals. Okay? Week after that, we play in Dallas and get Jones is starting and get dog walked again. Not as bad as opening night, but we get beat pretty soundly. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Second half of the Washington game, we're down.
Really going into detail on this one.
I'm going into detail. Okay?
Yep.
He played okay in Vegas. He got manhandled in Dallas, and it's halfway through the Washington game, and we're down already.
Mm-hmm.
Do you pull him and put Tyrod back in? Knowing full well that if you bench Daniel for performance reasons, you cannot start him the next week.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, I think he just nailed it on the head there, where it's just like that's what the question ultimately comes down to. If you're pulling the plug on Daniel Jones, and you're pulling the plug on Daniel Jones, like you are finding a new starting quarterback this offseason, no matter what. He'll be on this team, but like maybe he'll start next year, but it'll be with like the intention that a rookie is going to take over. Like
what happened with Eli.
Yeah, to an extent. Yeah. It took like an extra year, but the writing's on the wall. So, but I do think that you're walking a tough line. If Tyrod sees success, he's winning football games, and the team is rallied around this guy, and like they think that he can win them games, and they've seen him win them games. And then Daniel Jones comes back in and they start losing games. His fault or not. It could I'm not like we just hypothetically even know what this game script looks like.
Right.
But Daniel Jones,
we're talking pure hypotheticals. We're talking
Daniel
pure
Jones'
hypotheticals.
fault or not, it's going to be in the heads of those players. Like we were winning games with Tyrod, and we were putting us in a position to win. He was playing well, and you got benched because you paid this guy. And I think that you don't risk messing up the locker room for a guy you're ultimately going to move on from. But if you still have confidence in Daniel Jones and you just think it's a rough streak you need to get through, then you probably prioritize that over it. But it's a tough line there. I think you built this culture in this first year where it was basically the guy who was playing best is the one who played. You didn't care what they were getting paid. They kind of made Kenny Galladay the face of that cultural movement. And it's different when it's a guy you paid, but it's tough, man. And a lot of players on this team like Daniel Jones, and they rallied behind Daniel Jones last year. But on the other side, there's a lot of guys who weren't on this team last year. Jalen Hyatt wasn't on this team last year. Darren Waller wasn't on this team last year. Paris Campbell wasn't on this team last year. Like, there was a lot of new faces in this room who like Tyrod seemingly. So, I don't know. Where are you?
And you know what? You know what football players like more than any one single player? They like winning. These guys want to win games. So what do they want? They want the quarterback who gives them the best option to win games. And while, everybody's talking until they're blue in the face about who's better, right? And it's like, has the offensive line played better for Tyrod than they did for Jones? Well, guess what? It's the sixth or seventh different configuration of offensive line players this season. All right? None of these guys give a rip about who's playing quarterback, but they just know that Tyrod and Daniel play fundamentally different.
Yeah.
When Daniel escapes the pocket, he's looking to run. He's looking to get what he can get yardage-wise and then run out of bounds. Whereas when Tyrod escapes the pocket, what is he doing? He's keeping his eyes downfield. He's still looking to throw that ball. That's why you get those big passes to Jalen Hyatt, because he's still looking downfield. He's escaping the pocket, but he's looking to throw. He's not looking to run the ball out. that he had a big run he actually had, I think he had two big runs last game, but that's not his wheelhouse.
Not anymore.
You know, not anymore at least. You know, but that's the thing, that's how those two guys are fundamentally different. Is that Tyrod's going to keep his eyes downfield, looking for an open receiver, and he's not looking to run first. That's not his thing.
And he's willing to push the ball more in Jones. Like, I don't necessarily think Tyrod's a better player than Daniel Jones, but I think that he's running this offense, given our personnel, better than Daniel Jones has. And to a point here, I don't know if he's still here, but NYG Sky, he said you don't think Tyrod's the answer. You don't see a point of seeing what Tyrod. I understand. Like, I think that's a totally fair argument.
Yeah.
Like, and I think ultimately that is probably a lot of the reasoning why Daniel Jones will start. But I'll say
right, and that's not the argument we're making. And a lot of other content creators have made this argument: is Daniel Jones is not competing for a starting job against Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones is competing against the next quarterback.
And I very much agree with this as well. But yeah, no, and what it comes down to is, it's look, if you're pulling the plug on the Daniel Jones experiment, and I don't know if they are willing to do that before the end of the season, and I understand that because of what they invested in this. They want to see this out and get every last bit of tape and the valuation on this guy possible. I totally would understand that. But if it does come to the point that you're like we're going to be we're going to draft a rookie and this is coming to a close, then you prioritize whatever you think keeps the locker room together best. That's my one take on it, but I understand the other side. I think the other side is probably the correct take on it, but I do think that there is a counterpoint to it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll say one thing while we're kind of on the Tyrod Jones topic. One thing I wanted to point out that's been a big something I've heard people say a lot, which I haven't liked. I thought was a dumb argument. Is a lot of people have chose not to give Tyrod credit for this game versus Washington. He had a very good game despite it being a 14-point game. And like, I don't think, one thing Talking Giants guys mentioned, I don't think anybody can break down that game and see like, yep, he left points on the board. Like
exactly. Yep. The leaving points on the field kind of thing.
Yeah. The team did. Like I said, there's 4 drives in the second half, and the coach decided not to go for it on 4th and 1, and Saquon Barkley fumbled. Like, you can't blame him for 2 3 and outs in a half. Like, that happens. It's not ideal. But so my point though is that people were like, and granted, there's people who killed Daniel Jones no matter what's happened. I'm not going to argue that. But a lot of people are way close to the middle, and they were just basically like, they would have put Daniel Jones on a cross if he had that type of game. And I'm like, absolutely not. I wouldn't have. That's exactly the type of game I've been hoping from Daniel Jones.
Right.
The main thing I've been wanting from Daniel Jones is for him to take shots downfield. We had 7 plays of 20 yards or more. 6 of them were in the first half. If Daniel Jones did that, had 300 plus total yards and 2 touchdowns and no interception, that's a good game. That is what I've been asking for. That would have been right on track of what I've wanted from Daniel Jones.
Well, and the other thing is that there is no denying, like, Tyrod will push the ball downfield, but I will argue that Daniel Jones probably throws a better deep ball than Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, when he's willing to take the shot.
When he's willing to take that shot, when he's got that, when his processor finally kicks in. I mean, let's face it. Daniel Jones's processor is about as strong as my laptop, which is why I'm doing this stream from my phone. Okay.
Jason Garrett was pouring fucking hot sauce on that processor for 2 years.
Just ridiculous. When you need 7 yards and you do a 6-yard curl route, but anyway, the point is this: is when Daniel finally has the the mental acuity to throw the ball deep. He throws a good deep ball. No one's denying that.
Yeah.
I would say that deep ball to Hyatt, the almost one-handed touchdown catch where he had the defender draped on him,
Yeah.
Daniel pushes that just a little bit further,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
it puts Hyatt in a better position to catch that ball.
No, the one I'd
But
even
that's
say more was that he doesn't. I don't think, just from what I've seen, I don't think he takes that 43-yard shot down the right sideline in the fourth quarter. But he could have led him further
Yeah.
on that one, and
Well, if you notice, right, on both of Jalen Hyatt's deep passes, he slows down to catch the ball.
is a good
He
tracker of the
turns.
ball, and
He turns. He's got amazing tracking skills, but he turns around and slows down to catch the ball. What needs to happen is we need somebody with an arm big enough to put it in front of Hyatt.
Yep.
Because if Hyatt doesn't have to slow to turn and catches that ball in stride, he's gone. They're
I'll
not
say
catching it.
No, I'll say one thing that people really underrate how impressive Jalen Hyatt's ball tracking has been. If you think of Darius Slayton for the last few years, those plays end with the fans going like, "Holy fuck, Daniel Jones," or in this case, Tyrod Taylor underthrew him. He was open. He had to come back for that ball because he outruns it and has to work his way back to it. Jalen Hyatt just slows a little bit down.
You watch him and like the body control. There was one play in the Buffalo game where Hyatt comes across the middle of the field. He leaps up to high point the ball and then he immediately tucks because he knows he's going to get blasted. But he protects the ball and makes the catch. And that's not something that you see in a rookie all the time. So, I mean, yeah, like we were saying, we got to put it in front of Hyatt so that he can catch it. I'll have to say, man, is this year's rookie class has really been, a bright spot. A lot of these guys are playing really, really well. Deontay Banks gets his first interception.
He played great. Well, he got challenged a little, but he played great.
I mean, he's playing really well. He's not a liability.
No,
he's not getting just absolutely roasted.
McLaurin's
playing
McLaurin's giving him the toughest time he's had this over season, but that's almost more of like a statement of how well he's been playing, because McLaurin didn't like kill him by any means. He's just the only person who's really like giving him a hard time, and he's played Tyreek Hill,
DK
Metcalf. He's played great wide receivers this year, so it's been impressive.
And he's been really, really impressive. Trey Hawkins almost had an interception. He came really close.
Slot almost had an interception.
Thibodeau,
again, his mistakes.
Thibodeau.
Capitalize guys. But
you gotta. I mean, and that's the thing is we gotta get some of these guys on a jugs machine. Just get them catching stuff. All right, so we're way off track. So we're getting to be about an hour. Score prediction for the game, Monty. Let's do that. You're not convinced we can score a lot of points against the Jets defense.
I'm gonna say 13 Jets, 6 Giants, and the only touchdown in the game is a defensive touchdown.
It's depressing. Wasn't Sauce Gardner in concussion protocol, or is he out? I could have sworn I heard something about him.
I've heard something about it too. I don't know where he is right now. I know he's hurt. He was potentially missed the game. I didn't see what it was.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I don't care.
That does change.
Injury report that. Does it? It does.
No, him and DJ Reed were full participants.
Okay. So I am gonna say it's again. I'm gonna keep it low scoring, just because I think it's this is gonna be a fight. This is gonna be a defensive game. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Giants. I'm gonna say Giants Giants 17,
Okay.
Jets 12.
Okay. The guy at NYG Sky here, he's saying 10-6. I don't know
10-6,
but I assume
yeah,
Giants if he's
who
not specifying.
are you going for the Giants, Sky? Or are you thinking the Jets?
But
I mean, this is going to be a straight up, like, as a good old JR used to say, this is going to be a straight up slobber knocker. I mean, this is going to be a defensive fight. I would like to see a defensive touchdown on our side. Either Deontay Banks, Trey Hawkins, maybe Kayvon strip sack score.
That'd be fantastic.
I do think, because the New York Jets offensive line is just abysmal.
Yeah.
I think we got another. I think we get another 6-sack game. We get 6 sacks, at least 1 turnover, maybe 2.
I think it's going. So the tough thing is that we just did that so aggressively to Washington that the Jets kind of see that coming, and they have a good run game. Breece Hall is a very good running back, so
I think they're going to play it a little differently, though, because they're not going to. I don't think you can play the same. You can play Zach Wilson the same way you can play Sam Howell. Zach Wilson,
the worst quarterback
as up and down as he is a little more. He's a little more game savvy than Sam Howell.
He can get rid of the ball. Sam Howell.
He can get rid of the ball. He's got a really good, him and Garrett Wilson have a really good chemistry, and then and Breece Hall is just an amazing running back.
Yeah, I think ultimately, like I said earlier, what it comes down to is who makes less mistakes, and they'll win the game.
That's going to be the thing.
I said this earlier today too. Two sack game for Thibodeau. I believe that too.
I would like to see him, also get 2 sacks to kind of keep him on
shove
pace.
It in those fucking WFAN fucking
fuckers. So, I know, even better. 3 sacks for Tibbs, one of them being the hat trick, the sack, scoop, and score.
He needs some sort of like radio house celebration or something.
He's just gonna have a WFAN shirt underneath his jersey.
That would be great.
So when he scores on Zach Wilson, he's just gonna kind of do one of these.
Yeah,
and it's just gonna be WFAN.
They don't need the free advertising.
No, they don't. They really don't. Although Carl Banks may appreciate the shout out because the games are on the fan.
Pull up and it's a Carl's Banks shirt. That's the way to do it.
Oh, that's even better. Just a Carl Banks shirt underneath.
Work out before the game in a Carl's Banks t-shirt. That'd be good.
Oh, like the Giants, like the tweet the Giants account put out the Carl from Flint shirt. Yeah.
That was fantastic. That was a great.
That'll be good. All right. So we're just over an hour, so we're gonna wrap things up. I am your main man, Mayhem, and with me, as usual, is Monty. And I almost forgot. Do not forget to like, subscribe, hit the little bell so you know that we go live, because we go live every Thursday just after Thursday Night Football starts, because 9 times out of 10, it's a mediocre game and nobody cares. We will see you next week and celebrate another Giants win.
Hope so. To everybody, thank you guys for all stopping by.